And it is time to talk handball again, ladies and gentlemen, for one last time this season, for one last season highlight. Outside it is sunny, it is a gloriously great day, and everything is arranged for one last glorious day of handball. And well, I couldn't be more excited to see who becomes the Champions League winner of 2024. And for that, on my side, we have two co-hosts once again. One of the best that we do have in Germany. As of the German Handball Awards 2022, the best handballer that we had in Germany last year. Yeah, it is Alina Greisitz. How are you?
Thank you, and yeah, I'm really good. I'm happy to be here again and looking forward to see who will win the trophy today.
And then on the other side, we have the man who knows half of Cologne this weekend. We have our social butterfly. We have Dennis Bayer. How are you?
Social butterfly. Oh my God, that's good. Social butterfly. Thanks a lot. What a great start in the show today. Thank you for being here again. And hopefully it will be a nice day. Not for Kiel and not for Magdeburg. That will be a tough match for position 3. But afterwards, Aalborg against Barcelona. We will see.
Have you guys processed what happened yesterday already?
A little bit. It was like I think we expected more from the second game or from the second semi-final, but yeah, today it starts from zero. So let's see what happens.
Absolutely. We asked a lot of German experts here. All of them wanted to have a German final. This is the worst possible outcome for them, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. And yesterday we stood here and we thought about the game, really, and then we did our notes, and it was really historic, wasn't it?
Yes, for sure. I don't know if I can remember one game like this in the semi-final. So yeah, of course disappointed for Kiel, but also really strong from Barcelona, of course.
And defense wins championship. It's really important, and we saw, Alina, two very good defensive Barca on the one hand, and on the other hand it was Aalborg. Can you tell us about their defensive lines a little bit?
Yeah, I feel of course Emil Nielsen yesterday
46%
yes,
safe. Yeah.
Amazing performance of him. So but of course it's every time defense and goalkeeper together, and they made it really strong. They go out on Johansson. He has a lot of problems yesterday to score the easy goal that Kiel need, and after this they can run the fast break. This was really good of Barcelona yesterday, and let's see if they can do it today again against Aalborg.
Yeah, we will have a look at the matchups in a bit here as well, but at first let's enjoy a little bit of Cologne, because it is the last time that we are here for this weekend. Have you guys been around the city yesterday a little bit?
Yes, of course. I think it's the best time then to go after, and also see the whole city is full of handball fans, and but still eating together, drinking together. It's nice to see that this community is still together, even if they have other teams to support.
Absolutely. And who did you socially butterfly with yesterday?
Yeah, I was in a really famous restaurant, a Balkanian restaurant, and I saw all of those guys and my former idols. For example, one world champion, 1995 Iceland, France win, Philippe Gardon. He was a pivot of France in that time, and he played with my idol of former times, Frederick Wall, and that was great for me.
Yeah, most definitely. Then I would say let's have a look at what happened here yesterday and what we needed to process. We stay in our chronological order, so we'll start it off here with Magdeburg against Aalborg. That was our first semi-final. And the arena was buzzing already. Who actually did you feel did the arena support in that matchup? Because I got mixed feelings from that.
Yeah, hard to say. I think here are a lot of Aalborg fans in this arena. So, yeah, in the end, I felt it was 50-50, and nobody was really clear about who's gonna win this game. So.
Yeah, because the game was on the line all the time as well. As we see in the score all the time, it was 23-23, 17 all, somewhere in that direction. Nobody ever went away for more than 2 goals. Just for once, Aalborg did it, and then they ended up taking home the victory with +2. Dennis, what did Aalborg actually do better than Magdeburg in the end?
Yeah, I say it was Henrik Molgert for me in the first phase of the game. He structurized their defense, although they had Niklas Landin, only one parade by 8 shots. Then he went out, Norsten came in, and then they were really tough, really stable to improve their game, to bring their game in the offense, and that was a key factor, I think.
What would you have done differently if you were the Magdeburg coach yesterday?
It's easy.
Taking the keeper
it's
out,
easy,
you said,
yes,
and there were some experts. They
Yes.
agreed with you, and I told everybody. Alina was saying that.
Yes,
Mikael Agerfors, for
yes,
example.
it was only the feeling. Of course, it's every time easy from outside to say, now I would do this and this and this. After the game, you can say a lot, but yes, it was a little bit my feeling to change maybe for 5 minutes to have a new input in the goal and maybe some saves, because this was in the end also, I think, the decider maybe, that Landin comes back and have 2-3 saves, and Hernandez was maybe not on his top level yesterday.
Yeah, I think went below 30%, was probably somewhere around 26-27%.
Yeah, we got it here. 9 saves, 24%. So, and that means the savings of the Aalborg keepers, 12-9. So that's 3 goals.
Absolutely. But what do you think? Will we see Mikael Lagerfors today? We have been in the arena for a little longer already, so I've been here around since 1 p.m. And I saw him warming up. So he was running up and down here as the first one. So he opened up the LANXESS arena today. Do you think he will get some playing minutes?
Yeah, I think Bennett will give him some minutes. It's also a game in front of 20,000 spectators in this kleine Handballhalle. So it's really and it's also kind of like a Dankeschön, Anni.
Yes.
To him. Yeah.
Yes, I agree totally. Maybe he got his chance now. And also he deserves it, of course, because he came to Magdeburg in a difficult situation, maybe, and But I also think that Bennett will not say we want to lose this game, so he has also to deliver if he comes in.
And you guys are hearing it in the background. The Q fans are there already, and the Q fans are loud already. Meaning, of course, they're still disappointed and sad, but they're standing behind their team. Even though everything that happened yesterday, but we can have a look at what happened yesterday in Kiel against Barcelona. So let's get our highlights on here. I feel like those highlights will be a little bit one-sided.
Yeah, that's clear. And 18 goals. That's really too less. It's really too less. And it was such a controlled game. We were speaking with Veran Moros, and he will join us afterwards, and he said Barca controlled the whole game, also with the defense and with Emil.
Yeah, you're coming perfectly on time, because we are watching the highlights here. We have been seeing a little bit Emil Nielsen action already. It was set for Barca to be in the favorite role, but would you say that the favorite role was this clear in the end?
No.
At first, hi Chris.
I thought it would be. I thought it would be like maybe a 6 or 7 goal game. Yeah, but Kiel really fell apart. I mean, it's we took it apart a little bit after the game yesterday. It really exposed kind of the weaknesses and the one dimension of their attack, and also the defensive and goalkeeper problems they have clearly. Yeah, there's a big question today whether they can adapt. I don't know, but I feel for this first game, it's a case of who adapts better, but also who gives a crap more. It's always tough in these bronze medal games to get yourselves up, and I think for these two teams in particular.
But it almost felt like it was tough for Kiel to get themselves up for the semi-final already. Well, that is a little too harsh, because the first 10 minutes you saw them being emotional on the court, but still they had so much wind in their sails to remain in that sailing city Kiel. But why weren't they able to take that win with them into the semifinal that they had against Montpellier?
Hard to say. I think, as you say, in the beginning it was okay. So it was a 50-50 match, but yeah, I felt on the beginning then Barca go away with 4 or 5 goals, and maybe then it's also the head. You know, as a player you have not the perfect season this year, so then maybe the head comes back like, oh shit,
yeah,
not this one again, and yeah, then of course it's like Emil Nielsen saves in this area like everything. I had the feeling, yeah, they can shoot from 2 meters and he will save it. So
one of those days.
Yeah, it was amazing from him. And then if you don't have it on your side also, like maybe a save, a 100% save, like with the 100% chance, yeah, then it's hard.
Kiel promised us 16 lions on the court. What do we get? 16 lions or 16 cuddly kittens?
I'm sure they're going to fight for it, right? I mean, there's a lot of pride to play for. I don't think, it wasn't a lack of fight that they were just outclassed for the 60 minutes. And at a certain point, it just became too much for them. But, there are some players maybe playing for their future, whether it's with Kiel or with another club as well. There are some that are saying goodbye after this game. So there's a lot to fight for. And then there's the pride of playing, a German rival in all of this. They will have the inspiration for sure to do something, but whether it's enough to win, that's really a question of whether they've learned about themselves and also learned yesterday what Aalborg did to Magdeburg, because that gives a big insight into what could be the route to victory again.
And I mean, we asked Alfred Gislason yesterday, is there somebody here playing for his Olympics ticket? His clear answer, yes. So that should be motivational enough for them to give it all on the court, isn't it?
Yeah, that's clear for sure, but it's also necessary for Kiel to find their emotional leader. I think Dulle will be one of them, must be one of them. And we know that he's in his late years of playing handball, but this is the thing he has to salute with the team. That's clear, because you said it, the rivalry is still here, is still in the arena, and we will find that out.
Will the question be open if Philipp Jicha is coach at the beginning of the next season?
I think it's the end, to be honest. But I don't know. It's I don't know if you folks have heard anything else, but at least from what I've heard, I think the decision might have already been made in that regard. It's I mean it's a question about whether they want to make a short-term decision like this. Or start building for the future, because I think based on the team they have, this is the last time we're going to see them here for 2, 3, 4 years maybe. I mean, it's at the moment they're the 4th best German team by a long way.
That's
and there's
clear.
only there's the German Cup finals here, but they might be here. But for the EHF Final 4, it could be a long way back to this point. So also a question of where they see their future, and it seems like a big change from top to bottom is needed if they're gonna. I mean, you look at someone like Elias Elassana-Shapagatu, who should be the future of this team, but at the moment he's playing in a team which style just it doesn't suit him, and it seemed like there were also promises made that it would change to suit him over the course of this season, maybe next season, and at the moment it just doesn't fit. So you have to look at players like that and think, okay, we're going to build a team around these players or not. And then you have to change the way you're playing, and maybe those who make those decisions also will be changing.
That is some things to absolutely have a look at in the future, but let's look at our close future, because well, this is what it's all about today, and we are in our beautiful little Henkelmännchen, and I personally feel like it does get a little extra glow when it's final day in Cologne, doesn't it?
Oh, it's glorious, isn't it? It's just
it's
so nice.
Of course.
And also for the the bronze medal game is always can provide a nice bit of excitement as well. For the fans, it could have a bit of an exhibition feel, or like a proper tough battle, and we saw that last week in Budapest with yourselves and Esbjerg. It was a real battle for the win. It wasn't a case of 2 teams going to the beach already, and I think that's going to be the case here. That'll set things up nicely, and then the final between genuinely the two best teams this season. So yeah, what more can you ask for if you're a neutral fan, at least?
We have mighty Barca against one last shot for Mikkel Hansen. Do you see any chance for Aalborg to actually take it home?
Well, we all went for Barca, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Maybe we can change a while and search for some factors for Aalborg. And there's my factor, because I said maybe Niklas Landin will be MVP. That's still possible. We know that. And he has to be a factor. Who else? Alina, who else in Aalborg team?
It's Hoxer, of course. He has to deliver like yesterday, and also the defense in total, of course. I think this is the key for Aalborg to to play a defense like yesterday, or strong like yesterday. I don't think that they will go out like this, like they did it yesterday, but a strong defense.
But they did it against Gisli. So why not against Dika? Yeah.
It showed they did their homework. They definitely did their homework. It was a masterclass in setting up for a particular team. Hopefully they've had time before this weekend to also plan for something against Barca. And I think that's the open door. I mean, Barca had a lot of turnovers yesterday. They gave the ball away a lot, and it wasn't a one-off against Kiel. It's happened a few times this season. So if you think of it from that perspective, Aalborg definitely have a chance to rattle this Barca team. There is still question marks over the playmaker position because Melvin had trouble in the first 15 minutes. He's a right back still. And then they've got young players like Sakusha in the center who came on and did well, but he was also rattled early in the second half. So there's the potential to do that with people like Henrik Mulgar. And there is a path to victory. Whether they'll manage it I'm still doubting a little bit, but I would be surprised if it's not a really, really close game, and I think Aalborg are going to have a huge improvement over the final from 3 years ago.
I know why you doubt. May I put some statistical informations in? Aalborg met Barca 11 times in European Cup, so for sure Chris knows it, and Barca won all those clashes, and everybody remembers last time in the final 36-23. That won't happen today, I'm sure.
Yeah.
That not.
So much for the second matchup, but let's have a closer look on what is about to happen here. THW Kiel against SC Magdeburg. Who had the tougher night?
Okay.
Alina,
what do you think?
What do you think?
No, Alina didn't have the tougher night.
No, that wasn't. Alina, question mark.
I had it last week. No, I think you cannot answer on this because it's. If you in the semi-final, you want to go to the final, and it doesn't matter if you lose with 10 or with 1 goal, you are out. So you have to focus on yourself. You have to settle yourself back, and prepared for a tough match, I think, because maybe it's also special because it's a German teams against each other, so you don't want to lose it at all. So, but I think a tough night had everyone yesterday, or yesterday to today.
Well, I know a man who had a glorious night yesterday and who needs to focus on himself right now as well, because you are about to kick it off where and when and what are you going to do?
On EHF TV in 13 minutes. You can join me for coverage of the bronze medal game, and then at 5:30 for big final.
Wow, you will hear the voice.
I need 4 names in a particular order. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Who's it going to be?
Okay. 4th, Kiel. 3rd, Magdeburg. My heart says they'll be 1st, but Aalborg 2nd and Barca 1st.
The boring
I know.
pick
Last week I went for the wild ones, and then everyone let me down in Budapest. And now, so I went. That's the last time I'll make that joke. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
And so I'm going with a relatively safe one this time.
All right. Then have fun up there,
yes,
and
enjoy the games.
go scream us to a new Champions League winner this year.
Yes, I will.
Chris, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks for joining. Great
games for you.
And we can get him subbed off and on because Sasha Stad, whether he wants to join us for a little bit of an analysis here, let us get him in. Sasha, nice that you're around. yeah, difficult with all those headsets, but we are getting there in the end. Sasha, how's it going?
Fine. For you?
Yeah,
last night.
I had a great last night.
Yeah,
it was good. But yeah, we have just been talking about it. Two of the teams behind us didn't have such a great last night. Chris said Kiel had the tougher night. Would you agree?
Yeah, after an historic loss, I mean, that was the biggest loss in the semi-final in Final Four history. But yeah, I mean, they have to show today that they are still a good team. I think that they should be highly motivated. Yeah, not because for the prize money they get, but to show that they can still compete with the best teams.
You are around a lot in German handball, and we are shy of getting our next guest. That's why just one or two quick questions for you. Kiel's season. In the end, you still talk about being the fourth best team in Germany, and you talk about being among the top 4 in Europe. Will it still be summarized as a nightmare of a season?
After yesterday's loss, maybe. So, because the way they lost the game, I was actually very shocked because I expected them to get out of the start and have a good game and have a close game, but Barcelona just cruised through the game. So that shocked me a lot. Yeah, for them, not winning a trophy, well, they won the Super Cup, but still, that's a nightmare season because their idea is to win trophies, at least the Bundesliga title. Okay, Magdeburg is the better team right now, the better club. They have the better players, but for the rest, I think for them, obviously, it's a nightmare season, yes.
Yeah, well, but still, they need to end this season today. It will be one last matchup. What do you expect in the lineup here? So, looking in the backcourt, will we see Erik Johansson again?
I don't think he will play 2 bad games in a row like this. I don't know what the others say, but I think that's usually when he has a bad game, the next game is a much better game. Today it's a different defense he will face because the physicality of Magdeburg is not the same as the physicality of Barcelona, but yeah, I mean, it's very hard to say. Yesterday's performance from Johansson was not good at all, so I expect him to be much better, and then they have other options. I mean, they still have very good players. They just have to rotate maybe a little bit more.
Alina, what's your read on that? Erik Johansson, will he be joining the squad right from the start today, or maybe he gets a little time to think about in the first 5 to 10 minutes?
I don't know actually what he will do, but yeah, overall he will play. So I think it doesn't matter if he starts or if he come in later, but he has to perform if they want to win against Magdeburg, because you saw it yesterday. Like, of course they have other players, but in the moment I think Johansson is maybe the best player of Kiel in the backcourt, and they need him if they want to win.
I hope they get some structure back in offense. As you see, these hip throws from Shipagotu, they were 4 or 5, that was too much. They need structure from the beginning on, and then maybe Erik can put some better shots. He had, Sasha, I think, yeah, you're right, 1 out of 7. That's too less, for sure.
Yeah, and they need him if they want to win games, because he's their most dangerous player from the backcourt. He can score easy goals, but you said that they need structure. And Elias is a very young player.
Yes, of course.
He's a very talented and a very good player, but he's still very young. So he has to learn, and I don't know if he fits with the other halfbacks. That's the question.
Yeah, that's interesting to see. That's right.
Yeah, maybe this is where experience is needed, question mark. So I'm looking there in the direction of Victor Thomas when we say that experience is needed. Of course, let us grab him in. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Come join in. Come join in. Yeah, you come just to the perfect timing. I was just saying experience is needed, and then suddenly a Victor Thomas appeared. That is great. You haven't been stopping to smile since yesterday, have you?
No, of course not. I think that Barca, I think we all will agree that it was an exhibition of handball. I think that defensively, how clear they were in their ideas to what to do in the game. And of course, when defensively you are playing well, but when you are not doing what you want, maybe in some defenses, you have Emil Nielsen in the goal doing his job. And when you change Emil Nielsen, Gonzalo, it's coming in, and he saved the first 4 shots.
Yeah.
it was just an exhibition. I think it was a historical game for Barcelona here in Cologne.
Most definitely, most definitely. We are talking about Q right now, so Barca will be our topic later on, but you will probably not be here then, right?
No.
All right, cool. So we have to switch it over to
No,
Barca.
no,
then.
please,
Sorry, Q.
please, no.
All good, all good. Barca in the absolute sweet spot right now, and in the most favorized position that they could ever get to take home the trophy.
Yes, but maybe this is not the best, because we all know the aura of Cologne, and normally the underdogs are the ones who are taking the trophy. But of course, I think that the feeling that Barca finished the game yesterday, it's the best possible feeling. Everything went right. Ortega was able to manage the rotation of the team, so to manage the physics for today. So everything went right yesterday.
It absolutely did, especially it did for the goalkeepers here. Emil Nielsen saving 46%, and then Paris de Vargas coming in, saving 5 out of 6. Who will start today?
I think the logical move would be Emil. I think.
Did Barca ever go for logical moves in goal?
That's the thing. That's the thing. I think Emil will start. He's been the number 1 during the whole season, and I think the most logical thing would be that. But I wouldn't be surprised if Gonzalo starts. Predict at this point in Cologne, it's useless,
Yeah. But looking at predictions, your predictions are still looking quite all right since you went for all in Barca, despite top scorer.
Aleix Gomez. Yes, Aleix Gomez. I don't know what's happening actually, because I talked to him yesterday. He's fit, but just for the game plan, they decided to bring Blas Jans, which can be number 2 in defense, and then Dika can rest in the number 1. That was the game plan. It worked perfectly. So today he would have to pull out 15 goals, which it's highly unlikely.
Did you get some insights from the team? How were the emotions after the match? How did they feel, and how are they preparing for today?
Yeah, they feel, of course, happy, but with both feet on the earth, because they know that today it's going to be a completely different game. They saw how Aalborg performed against Magdeburg. The defense of Aalborg yesterday was crazy. So, they are calm. Yes.
Fair. Sasha, that's where I am seeing our next guest, and we need to sub you off for that.
You replace me?
I do. Unfortunately, I do. But
no
thank you for being around, for your expertise. And talking about expertise, scoreline for this matchup will be?
It will be like +5 for Magdeburg.
+5 for Magdeburg. Yeah. All right. Then, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Catch you later. Victor, you are just gonna come to our golden middle.
That's good.
Yeah, totally fine. And
sorry to interrupt. I saw that you learned from the Budapest and you are wearing suit today.
I learned from the best here. I learned from
He
the
said
best.
so.
Yeah, okay.
Where's yours? Where's yours?
Well, I'm in another role today, so I didn't need a suit today.
Fair enough. I can just tell you from yesterday when we were recording a podcast together with Dominic Klein and Victor Thomas. Well, they were dressing like twin brothers, but they didn't invite me to the party.
And we did it on purpose,
I know, but it's totally fine. And what we are doing on purpose is getting the wall in.
Hello.
Andy Wolf, nice to see you.
No, next to me, no. I'm so short. Not next to me.
Yeah, that is good here for the introduction as well.
Looks like brothers. Perfect.
German
Shoot of the weekend.
Big brother and really little brother.
really small brother. Andy, nice that you are around here. Actually, this time I looked it up on Thursday. If you're telling me right now you streamed on Friday again, I'm completely losing it. What happened to your gaming career?
It would be like my coach honestly doesn't like it. So I stopped. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I also felt like getting older, my reaction is getting worse. So why keep trying to hang with the young guys? I have enough to practice in the goal, and so I stopped my gaming career.
Oh, that's too sad, because we were talking about it that you were still thinking about switching to being a pro gamer and leaving your handball career hanging. But yeah, let's get a little more serious here, because you are coming back to Cologne. That is a good sign, but with what emotions are you coming back to the Cathedral of Handball?
Honestly, I'm much more relaxed than the past 2 years. Yeah, for me, of course, it hurts a little bit to be here, to be honest, after being eliminated so close, just one step ahead of the Final Four. And honestly, this is the greatest event as a club player that you can play. And
No doubt.
It feels amazing every time you're here. Like even now as a spectator, it catches me. And yeah, a little bit heartbroken am I still that I missed this tournament as a player. But you know what didn't happen this year, maybe next year.
I think that for him now as an active player, for me as a retired, we realize how big is this event when we come in another role, not as a player. Because we also see the city, we also see the atmosphere around the arena and everything, and it's like, wow.
All the retired players.
All the retired players are around, you know.
Yeah, fair enough. But let's start it off here with our talks about the upcoming matchup. What impression did you get of both teams yesterday?
Of course, it's tough to conclude the second semi-final. The first semi-final was, as expected, pretty close. Of course, Magdeburg was the favorite before the game, but Aalborg played a great season throughout the whole group stage. Afterwards, in the quarterfinals, they also eliminated Veszprem. That is quite an achievement, and they deserve to be in the final. And even Magdeburg is still maybe the best team in the world right now. They had not even an off day. That would be not appreciating enough what Aalborg did, but they didn't play their absolute best game. And it's unfortunate for them that it happened in the semi-finals, and of course in the second semi-final, Kiel unfortunately kept looping in their performance, like starting pretty bad, coming back, being closer in the game, losing by a bigger margin, coming back again in the game, and then in the end being beaten by 12. Of course, it's not astonishing, very astonishing, and yeah, I think both teams are now pretty disappointed, and we will not see the most intense match, I would predict. But of course, both of those rivals don't want to lose to their respective country fellow.
Yeah. But we all expect, Alina, a reaction from THW Kiel. It must be, or?
Yes, I think so, because they cannot be good with this performance from yesterday, and also maybe thinking about it's the last time Champions League for even the next year, and also all the fans, of course, are coming here. So I think they will give of course everything to win this game.
Victor, there was an apologizing Dule Duvniak for the fans, and he said we must change something. Is he maybe the emotional leader of today? Must be one of them, no?
Yes, I think Dule, it's not only the emotional leader. I think it's the leader of this team in the court, in the playing court, and you know, he's feeling the Kiel club, the Zebras inside, and it was very nice from him to come and apologize to the people. And of course, today it's you just played this kind of game 1 week ago. We all played this game, and it's just a mental game. Just the team who wants it more, who fight for it more, it get it at the end of the day. So I think Dule can play a big role on that, because you see him in the playing court. Maybe he's not on his best as he was some years ago, but he's all the time cheering for his teammates, supporting everyone, and I think that he has a huge role today doing that.
Now that we are having the best German goalkeeper here with us, maybe he's standing right in our middle. But still, yesterday Kiel accumulated, I think, 3 saves over the entire match. What went wrong with Kiel's goalkeepers?
Honestly, I didn't pay too much attention on this side. I had to rewatch the game to really judge the performance. Of course, it was unfortunate for them, but Barca played, especially in the beginning, a lot of fast breaks, so it was pretty difficult for Sami Pedersen to come up in the game, starting well. And when Tomáš entered the goal, it was already down by 4 or 5 goals. Even saving a penalty immediately, it for sure didn't give him enough security to bring the game back on this day.
And I mean, the goalies were left hanging by their defense a little bit as well. One really has to put it like that too. But to keep it in a positive way, Barca had a massive offense, and Kiel didn't get a hand on it. Is it even possible to defend this Barcelona?
It is possible, and Magdeburg showed us, Vesprem showed us how to do it, but it's difficult, of course, because yesterday clearly they prepared that Dule was going with Dika when he switched positions to the center and tried to put more attention on Dika. But when you do that, then there is other players like Melvin, like Karlsbogar, like Engesan that are stepping up, and they are also very dangerous players. So it's very difficult to defend this Barca, because when Dika is in a good form, he is amazing, but when he is not in that good form, there is some other players, and Petar Čikuša, which was amazing to come here with 18 years old against Kiel, and no shame, you know, he was going to Pekeler, he was going to Vincek. It was amazing to see that.
Are those the two players that Magdeburg will have analyzed for their today's matchup as well, and how to break the defense out of Pekeler and Vincek?
I think it's nothing they don't know. They play so often against each other in the German league, in the German cup, so I think they will be prepared, of course, and use their strength as always, like 1 against 1 isolation for Christiansson, for Klar, for Magnusson. So Magdeburg is still, like in offense, played their game, and let's see if they can do it maybe a little bit better than yesterday against Aalborg.
Yeah, looking at the coaches' positions, we prepared a small little beautiful graphic for you. It is a tough one, especially Philipp Jicha. That is basically the way that he's been looking since yesterday. All of Kiel has been looking like that. So we were in the hotel this morning, and
Bad moods.
not too many smiling faces around. On the other hand, Benno Wiegert, of course, disappointed, but he can still be proud of that Magdeburg season, can't he?
Yeah, for sure. They won the league and the cup in a convincing way.
And the Super Globe.
And the Super Globe as well. And the Super Cup in the beginning of the season. So they already, before this tournament, won 4 titles. And they made it again to Cologne. They eliminated the last year's finalists. That is a really good team. And so, of course, for them, it's another achievement to come here to Cologne. It's the biggest achievement, actually, for all the clubs. It's the goal just to come here, and they were again on this big stage. They performed pretty well, and they just had like a few bad moments and a little bit of bad luck maybe, and that's why they lost the game yesterday. But other than that, their season was great.
And Magdeburg is on their way to settle themselves up on top on national level and on international level. Difficult question, but is Magdeburg the new Kiel?
Well, I think in terms of history, they have had different history. You know, Magdeburg maybe appear in Handball history earlier than Kiel, and now the consistency that Kiel had in the last 25, 30 years, it's better than Magdeburg. Now Magdeburg is ahead of Kiel, and it's back in the biggest stages of Handball in the last 5 years. I wouldn't put one over the other one. I would say that both of them are historical clubs. It's amazing what they do, being only handball clubs, not supported by a football teams. And I would say that both are 2 of the biggest clubs in handball history.
What's the expectation for today for Magdeburg? So they had a tough matchup yesterday, lost only by 2, but they were in the game. Who do you expect to start off in the backcourt, and who will be the outperformer today?
Yeah, but that's interesting. I'm looking at Philipp Weber. Maybe Andy knows what is wrong. They have Damgard out, but maybe Philipp gets some minutes today. I really don't know. I would wish him that, because he's such a great player, but he's in a bad role for himself. I don't know. Maybe he's at a point some minutes for him. For sure, we will see Klar. We will see Gisli and Smarason. I like him very much. He is such a great player. Since he lost his injury in Göppingen, he was only injured, and he played a great year.
Well, I don't know about Philipp. I think Philipp, it's a little bit out of the plans of Bennett. It looks like that during this season. He's not having a lot of play time. Maybe today it's this kind of player that can be the what's the word in English? Yeah, the game breaker. You know, he
or
could have
as
been
a
yesterday.
surprise, yeah.
As Bezjak was last season, I think. Yeah, so maybe it would be a good question for Bennett to make him, but in my opinion, he's not going to be playing a lot today either.
You think so either?
I honestly agree. Like Philip had a rough season so far, and I of course am not familiar with the reasons. I also just can assume that he's not fitting in the tactic that Magdeburg is playing, and they are quite successful, as we said before. And I also could imagine that he's not playing too much, but it also will depend on how the game will go, because of course he's short. His ability to win a 1-against-1 is unmatched sometimes, and therefore he can be the secret weapon that usually Damgard tends to be.
And when we have been looking at the other goalkeepers, we already had a talk about it, but what's your read on it? Will Agafors get a little bit playing time today?
Honestly not, because as far as I know Magdeburg, they want to win every match, and of course they're disappointed because of yesterday's loss. But they want to watch back to the season and say we lost as least game as possible, and therefore they won't give any, like, let's say, presents. And Sergei played fantastic 2-3 months in the last 2-3 months, and therefore he will show that he's a great goalkeeper, and will make up for the bad luck he had to live through yesterday.
All right, so if we sum it up here, we can say we need better luck for goalkeepers on both sides. Kiel needs to fix their defense. And what is the third point to look out for?
I think it's the mental strength that the teams will have today. Which one is going to be willing more to win the game, and the endurance of the mental strength today, that will be a key for the game, I think.
All right, then let's start predicting here. Because
you love predictions. You love predictions.
He does. I do.
And he loves to say, "Oh, you were wrong." You know.
I'm wrong all the time because I'm just going for the highlight takes that are never coming. But still, completely fair. Give me two numbers.
Magdeburg 28, Kiel 24.
Alina?
29 Magdeburg, 25 Kiel.
I think it's going to be a tough match, but as I said, I think the mental advantage is at Magdeburg, and therefore I think they will go by 27-26 for Magdeburg.
Close call?
Close call.
Yeah, I will go for 30-27 for Magdeburg.
33-26 for Magdeburg.
No, 33-26.
I got the...
He just stole you one goal, eh?
Cool. Yeah, maybe one last question to you. When is your focus switching over to the Olympic Games?
On 29th of June. Until then, I don't even read the preparation plan. I will just enjoy my vacation, and after that we have a lot of handball to play, a lot of trainings to do, and until then, just physical training.
What kind of vacation goer are you?
I will stay in Germany because, of course, I don't spend too much time there, and I enjoy every brief moment that I have right now.
All right, cool. Then thank you for your expertise. Thank you for your time here. Well, then I would say let's switch over to the game. Let's keep our focus there. You guys go over to EHF TV. You can hear Chris O'Reilly, and then in between with the matches, we will be back when it's time to talk handball again.
Start the show.
Hit the ground running, hit the ground running. Hit the ground running, hit the ground running.
Yeah, now bring the action.
Ooh, ooh.
Come on.